The following Best of Central Florida program is sponsored in part by Solar Ray, Mystique Escape Room, Greater Orlando Realty, The First Academy, and Sophila Radio and Television Productions.
Welcome to the show. I think all of our children are now officially back to school. Back to school is important for not just the kids, but the parents as well. That's why today it is the best back to school businesses in Central Florida. Welcome, as always, my beautiful co-host, Makaila Nichols. Makaila, how are you?
Great.
Great businesses to really talk about today, including one little surprise in the middle that you know something about. We're talking about schools, fun things to do with your children after school. A lot of great things to do here in Central Florida for children. A lot of great things to do when they go back to school, not always confined down near the theme parks. There's a lot of other amazing opportunities for children, especially during this back to school season. Are you ready to go?
I am.
Hopefully more ready than I am, apparently. But I'm very excited about your surprise in the middle as well.
Yeah, are you?
Here's what we're going to do. Quick break. When we return, it is best back to school businesses in Central Florida. Can't figure out what I love more, Solar Ray or Michael Brownstone. Michael, how are you? It's good to have you back here, buddy. I know. I love Solar Ray. I just think it's crazy out there, people who own a house but have not gone solar yet. What are the reasons to go solar?
Well, you're locking in your utility rate today, right? There's a 2.5% historical inflation rate in utilities. And you can lock that in today with whatever size system and whatever savings you're going to get out of that system today, is you're going to get an additional return of 2.5% per year.
You've been around since 2003 at least, maybe a little bit earlier even. A lot of solar companies have popped up, but these companies are more like sales organizations. What separates Solar Ray from the rest?
Well, I'm in this at the very beginning to try to do well by doing good, right? So that's a saying out there, and what it is, you know, of course I need to make a living, but I also want to be able to do something for the community and for my neighbors and for the rest of Central Florida while I'm doing that. It makes me go to sleep well at night.
And while you're doing that, you're saving me money on my electricity bill, and generally speaking, quite a bit of money.
Yeah, it could be the entire bill. It's up to you. What's your budget on what you want to have as an expense? And it could be all the way down to zero, right? Yeah. So, and you can get loan packages and a price point where you're saving money from day one. The second that it's turned on, the second that the utilities change the meter, you can be saving money that day.
And not only am I getting a tax credit, also, I don't necessarily have to write a check at all at the beginning.
No, of course the price is always better. Cash is king, right? But yeah, you can get interest rates all the way down to 0.99% still today with interest rates. 0.99
with mortgage rates where they are. That's unbelievable. Yep. Keep up the great work. So we love Solar Ray.
Thank you. Always love you too.
Do yourself a favor. If you have a house, you don't have solar, call Solar Ray today.
The following Best of Central Florida Makaila's Choice is sponsored in part by Mystique Escape Room, Greater Orlando Realty, and Sophila Radio and Television Productions.
You know, one of my favorite things about going back to school is, well, after school. So Makaila's Choice for Best Back to School Business is Mystique Escape Room, and I am joined by the founder and owner, David. Happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be on your list.
And I am no stranger to your location. I myself, and Justin has even been there.
She helped me out of one of the rooms there. I mean, I'll be honest with you. So I'll give credit where credit is due.
I mean, yeah, and I think you were new to escape rooms, and you know, some people watching might be new to escape rooms. What exactly is an escape room?
So an escape room is a 60-minute adventure in which you and a group of other people, up from 2 to 10 people at Mystique Escape Room, go into a room and you need to accomplish a goal inside there. And the way to accomplish that goal is to solve puzzles while inside that room.
I love it. it. And speaking of puzzles, I mean, I think that's really great considering a lot of the kids are back in school and you got to keep your brain going even when you're outside the classroom, right?
Sure. So it gets the kids off the TV, it gets the kids off the cell phone for a little bit, and it's also bonding moments between parents and kids too. I recently had a mom tell me that she was so thankful of the escape room experience just because she got to bond with her teenage daughter, which she hasn't done in a long time.
That's awesome. And I think, you know, bonding or some like friendly competition is also in store, right?
Sure. I mean, Mystique Escape Room is for all different types of demographics. We ultimately have a ton of enthusiasts who escape rooms are their vice, in which they've done over 200 escape rooms and they love to try that challenge, stuff like that. But then you also have the new players, the novices, who are just looking for a fun time. And one of the great things about our location too is we give unlimited clues. So if any person who is new to an escape room needs a little extra help, they just raise their hand as a team and we got their back. We're there to help as much as possible.
I love that. So tell me about Mystique's room. That's kind of your go-to?
So Mystique is our ethereal fortune teller. She's like the face of the thing, who has 3 themes. We have a place called Murder in London. That's a room where you go back to 1889 London, England to find a killer. You guys would be detectives on the case to solve that mystery. We have Secret of Pharaohs. It's an Egyptian tomb in which you go back in time to the 3rd dynasty of ancient Egypt. Sand all over the floor, hieroglyphics all around, super fun. And then we have our hardest room, which is the Wizard's Tower. It's a very magical realm room. There you use all 5 of your senses to solve the puzzles in that room. Super hard, super exciting. And then ultimately I'm building a 4th room there too. Wow. And I'll give you a little tidbit here on TV. It's going to be a vampire theme.
Ooh.
Really?
Which room did we do? The hardest, no?
I think we did the Wizard Tower.
Did you do Wizards?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so you went straight for the hardest.
Yeah.
I hope that was the hardest.
Go big or go home, right?
But I'm not that smart, you know.
Oh, well.
Everyone knows that.
I disagree. Well, one of the things that I love that you guys do is, you know, some escape room have locks, which can be frustrating. Your puzzles are a little bit different, right?
It sure is. So we don't use lock and keys at our escape rooms. A lot of escape rooms, almost all of their puzzles will be a lock and key where you need to figure it out, or a padlock. We're a little bit different. So if you see that box right there, that scarab box right there is actually one of our puzzles in Secret of Pharaohs. To solve that box, because right now it wouldn't open if you tried to open it right now, but there is a way to solve that box and open it, and all the clues are exactly on that box right there, which people are like, wow, how is that possible? But there is a way to open that box without brute force or anything like that. Also, I have something like this. This is a cryptex. This is actually located in our Wizard's Tower too. This would be one of our puzzles right here to solve, in which once you, sort of like Da Vinci Code, once you put all the letters correctly after solving a riddle in there, it will open this up like that, and you'll find something inside. So our puzzles are very unique, definitely different from other escape rooms.
And you said 5 senses, like using your 5 senses in a room. I mean, I've not really heard of that. That's very creative. It
is. It's one of the most unique things. When I tell that to people, one of the things on our waivers, do you have any food allergies? So there will be some taste in there. But if someone does have an issue with that or anything like that, we can always bypass puzzles too. We give the teams that option if that ever comes up.
Do you have any kind of like age requirements or?
So the great thing about escape rooms are that the demographics are all over the place. So I have 12-year-old birthday parties in there. I have date nights there. I have moms with their teenage daughters. I have family nights. I have family reunions. I actually had a retirement home that came and visit us for a little while too, and did Murder in London and loved it. So it's one of those places, which the escape room is, that can touch upon almost every type of age group.
And one of the things I love is I'm so competitive, so like if I don't necessarily beat, you know, the room on the first try, I'm like, I've got to come back, like tell me nothing. How do you kind of follow with that? Do you kind of be like, all right, Makaila, like here's what happened, or no?
So usually right before you enter the escape room, we give you all the rules, and one of the things we'll tell you is you have the option for unlimited clues. Now most escape rooms will limit you to 3 clues, and if you ask for more than that, they'll deduct 5 minutes off your time. My philosophy is you're paying too much money to enjoy something like this, especially during these times where gas prices are so high and everything like that. I want you to enjoy what I've built, and that's 90% of going through that game at least. So we're going to help you along the way with clues. Now, if you do not finish and you choose not to use clues, that's your prerogative too. And at the end, yes, I will tell you how it ends if that's what you like, but some people will say, no, I want to come back.
What makes Mystique escape rooms like so different than the other ones?
Well, as I said, our use of puzzles, we don't use the locks and keys. That makes things different too. We are very well known for our theme. So when you walk into Murder in London, you feel like you're walking down the alleyways of 1889 London, England. People are looking around, seeing stars in the sky, seeing alleyways, seeing the Tin Bell pub, seeing Whitechapel Street. When you walk in the Secret of Pharaohs, there is sand all over the floor, torches all around. You feel like you're Indiana Jones in there. And then Wizards, that is my top of the top when it comes to the theming, in which you're putting crystals into a stone, you're pulling a sword out at the end, you're learning magic in that room. And if you come into my lobby too, you're going to see a horse carriage there, a horse carriage to enter into my place. So wow. People see the theming in that. On top of that too, we are very customer service driven. We want you to have the best experience possible. One of the greatest things to hear is when someone walks into Mystique after they come out of the room and they just look at me at the front desk like, wow, I was not expecting this type of experience. I'm so happy. We can't wait to play again. So we try to deliver that not only with the theming, but with also our game masters who are trying to help along the way. And that's usually what does separate us from others. That's what takes us to the next level. And I'm also a small business owner. This is 100% on me. So any reflection, good or bad, is a reflection on me, and I try to keep it as good at 100 as much as possible.
Well, David, you're doing a fantastic job. We'll definitely have to come back and try my luck again and see how I do on the escape room. Do yourself a favor and go check out Escape Room. And we'll be right back after this short break with Justin's Choice.
If you own a rental property or properties, or you're a real estate agent, you need to listen up right now. Greg Mann is here. Greg, how are you?
I'm great, thanks so much.
Property manager to the stars, the best one that I know. But you have this great program for real estate agents. How do you help agents when it comes to their clients' rental homes?
Well, we do two things. First of all, we look after the clients in a great fashion. But secondly, we reward them with what we call the residual income program. So they get a lump sum to start with, and then every single month that we manage the property, they get a proportion of what we make in the fee. Yep. And they get a cool thing too. We guarantee that when the owner sells the house, they get it back to them.
I love it. Real estate agents, you have to listen up. Send your properties to him. He's going to give them back to you. He's not going to try to get that listing, but you're so successful because what a great job you do in property management. If I even own one rental property, why should I not do it myself? Why should I let you take over?
It's way too risky to do it yourself. There's too many legal potholes to fall into. We've got a great team that just takes the stress off of you.
I completely agree. You're doing such a great job with all the realtors that I work with. Send their clients to you, and they know that they're going to get the listing back. But most importantly, they know you're going to take great care of their clients, which is hugely important. If you have any rental property or you are a real estate agent, call Greg today. The phone number's on the screen. Visit his website. I assure you he's going to take great care of you and great care of your client. Call Greg Mann today.
The following Best of Central Florida People's Choice is sponsored in part by Sophila Radio and Television Productions.
People's Choice today is a little special to us, I must say, when it comes to Best Back to School. Makaila, that's what you do. Your life mission is you help people who are in school, or young people in general, with the Blatantly Honest Foundation. The floor is yours.
Thanks. Wow. Okay, no pressure. So the Blatantly Honest Foundation is a 501c3 dedicated towards really changing the stigma with, bullying, body image, suicide prevention, mental health, just a lot of things that, we all kind of struggle with and don't necessarily like talking about. But, speaking of back to school, we're going to be doing this event over at the Jewell. Have you heard of the Jewell? Because it's really awesome.
Yes, but I cheated.
Yeah, well, anyway, it's over at Pirates Dinner Adventure on International Drive and on Thursday. So it's going to be a Thursday, so it is a school night, but it's all in good fun for charity. We're going to be doing an event September 22nd, all to raise money for the foundation so we can donate different coloring books and just kind of resources into Central Florida schools to really start that conversation of bullying prevention and just kind of inclusion, because honestly, a lot of people just need to learn to be nice.
I have seen your foundation save lives. You save lives firsthand. I've seen you get that phone call from people who are not feeling so hot, who I don't think would be with us without you, quite frankly.
Thank you. It's definitely an interesting line of work, and I'm very blessed to be able to do what I do with the help of our amazing board members. But yeah, come check us out on Thursday, September 22nd at the Jewell, the Blatantly Honest Foundation. Thanks.
The following Best of Central Florida Justin's Choice is sponsored in part by The First Academy and Sophia Radio and Television Productions.
And finally today, it is time for Justin's Choice. And Justin's Choice for Best Back to School. But it's my favorite part of the show, too, by the way.
Of course it is.
She hates this part of the program.
No, I
because it really is my time to shine.
Yeah, whatever.
Justin's Choice for Best Back to School Business goes to our great friends at The First Academy. I have Bishop McCrae is here with me, Sarah Donovan. You were pronouncing his name wrong this whole time until right before the show. I feel
Why
like we
would
really
you call
brought
her
you
out
two
like
together.
that?
Well, she did. We have guy code. You know this. Girl code.
You learn something new every day. That's what we're all about at our school.
The First Academy. Most people know about you guys. Some people might not. What is the First Academy all about?
So the First Academy is a Christ-centered college prep school located right in the heart of Orlando. We've been around for 35 years, so going strong, and we serve anywhere from preschool through 12th grade students. We have a very rigorous spiritual formation program as well as academic program. And the really neat thing about the First Academy is we're really a destination school. We have our 5-day program, regular education program, but we also serve a hybrid homeschool program and special needs program as well at our school.
And when you talk about religion or Christian based, it's not just really pigeonholed to one type of feeling, right? I mean, you're accepting.
Absolutely. So we see every child as a value, and so our job is to really make disciples out of disciples and grow them in their faith, but grow them to go on to pursue their passions, to be strong academically, strong of heart and mind.
Absolutely. When you see children who start their preschool and then you see them graduate so many years later, because you've done such a great job with them throughout, the parents wouldn't even consider changing. How does that make you feel when you see these children graduate and become really young adults?
Well, I think it just speaks to the program itself. The First Academy is all about family. It's all about development as well. And so we see kids come in one way, we see them go out a different way, and that's called the process. It's all about how we are processing kids and develop them to be those citizens that we really need in our society now.
After that 12th grade year, where do you see these students going? Because I've heard a lot of great stories about your students going on to some really special things.
Absolutely. And so, we're Christ-centered, so some students go into the mission field, but the majority go on to pursue careers across the board. And so attorneys, engineers, teachers, but we also have really strong athletes that go on and play intercollegiate sports, fine arts programs, and so top 25 universities. It's just incredible to see that at one school, all the different paths that those students go on to and pursue and become successful in.
A lot of parents, such as myself, you have to make a decision when you have, like me, I have 2 young daughters, and when they started kindergarten, we had to make a decision, okay, are we going to go to a public school, or are we going to go to a private school? It's a decision that has to be made. What goes into making that decision?
I think one of the things you have to look at your outcomes that you're expecting for your kids. Understanding going to TFA is an investment. But it's an investment that you're also learning, that your kids are learning so much more than just academics, but it's also spiritual growth that is taking place. And when that's a high value for you, you invest into it. And when you invest right, you always find that the right outcomes take place. And that's the reason why I believe a lot of parents are choosing this method of going to TFA, because it competes with all the other schools. And as a matter of fact, I think it exceeds a lot of different schools and what that school offers. And then to have that safety of the school, understanding what our kids are being taught, and putting them in a system that is comfortable to the upbringing that we desire for our family households, it's a worthwhile investment.
Yeah, it's like you treat your students like you would treat your own children at TFA. It's that there's so much care over there, and quite frankly, I don't know if you can say this, I can. When it comes to private schools in Central Florida, there's certainly a very upper tier of them, at least the way I envision it. TFA is right there at the very top of the list.
You're absolutely correct.
You're
absolutely correct.
What makes parents choose TFA to invest their money in their children?
I think the first thing is looking at how the parent and the students are also looking at the faculty and the students' relationships. So when you start thinking about how the faculty-student relationships, the opportunities the parent universities that TFA offer, as well as our PTAs and just some of the different ways that parents can also put themselves involved in the program, that is definitely a place for me that allowed me to make a decision. And then looking at the growth potential of the students, seeing just how much the administrative and the staff care about our kids and want to see them walk all the way through is extremely impressive.
You know, for a parent, there's the step that we go from just thinking about sending my child to TFA to actually coming there and to explore TFA. And sometimes that step is hard to make because we don't really know you guys. And this is all about you getting to know the people of Central Florida, the parents of Central Florida. But let's say I want to take that next step. I want to come see you. I want to come see what TFA is all about. How do I do that?
So we would love for families to tour on campus. It's really an experience in itself. I liken it to a neighborhood, visiting a neighborhood. It's very warm, very welcoming. We love seeing tours on campus, and so schedule a personal tour. Visit our classrooms, walk our hallways, see the TFA difference. We have great parent and student ambassadors that love to stop and talk with families along the tour too, and to see their perspective is just irreplaceable on campus.
And that football coach of yours, Coach Kennard, I'm telling you, great guy, good friend of mine. You better tell him I said hello as well.
Definitely
we will.
We have a great program there at TFA.
It's amazing. Yeah, thank you guys. So nice to meet you. Keep up the good work for the students and the parents of all of Central Florida. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's an honor.
If your kids are looking at going to private school, TFA is right at the top of the list, don't you think?
Definitely, it's up there.
And I know you played a lot of sports against them growing up too, huh?
I had a lot of friendly competition with TFA, and I'm glad I did. They're a great school to
Not always friendly, but sometimes
always friendly.
What a great episode today. It is back to school at a very important time for parents and students alike, and I think we've done a really good job of showing off the great businesses that we have in Central Florida for our great students, huh?
Yeah, most definitely.
Makaila and Nichols, great job today, as always. To our WKMG-based crew, even Anand, who tries to mess with the teleprompter on me very often, and Bob, Philip, Tyson, Ivan, the whole crew. Cody is here as well. Hit record series now, and we'll see you next week for more Best of Central Florida.
The preceding Best of Central Florida program was sponsored in part by Solar Ray, Mystique Escape Room, Greater Orlando Realty, The First Academy, and Sophila Radio and Television Productions.